Shalom. Praises, honors, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Bahadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders of great millstone, and rule well. Still do salutations to you, Akim, on the highways and hedges and the four corners, preaching His word with truth and sincerity and in faith. And shalom to all you sincere listeners. As I start meditating in the spirit, watch a couple of Akim's videos and edified, like my brother Jonathan, GMS Gird Loins, very edifying brother. He put up his video talking about when they say peace and safety then sudden destruction, and he gets that from a news article. You see this guy right here, you know who he is. That's the son of perdition right there, you know, Donald Trump. And from what I understand, he opened up the government again, you know. Matter of fact, just let you listen to a little bit of the brother's lesson, rather, because it's very edifying. I'm going to get some precepts to back it up. The Lord's willing, my lesson will be edifying.
All right, you got to go back to the scriptures. For when they say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them. So as I said before, man, this could actually be speeding up things, man. This whole reopening of the government. The scriptures say you cannot heal Babylon, which is America. You cannot heal it. Take balm for her, if so be that she may be healed.
That's right.
But she is not healed.
Come.
All right, this place has a deadly wound on it and is dying. All right, this kingdom is fallen.
Come.
And there's nothing that a government shutdown, a government reopen, a spending bill for border waters, nothing that anybody can do. All right, this place is about to be destroyed by great fire, man, by nuclear destruction.
Come.
And when they say peace and safety, which they're saying right now, peace, you know, the government is reopened. You people can get your checks again. You know, the EBT is back on. Everything's back to normal. But the scriptures say, then sudden destruction will come upon you. You know, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So just as a woman that's pregnant with child, that's conceiving or has conceived child, you know, the contractions get stronger toward the end, more frequent, you know, and the woman really feels it. So that's the time that we in now. These contractions are coming. You know, these people are feeling it. But guess what? It's not the time of the baby's deliverance yet. You know, which the baby in a parabolic sense of the word of Yahweh Shemyahushai will represent the destruction. You know, so as a woman that travails with child, so is America, man. The great whore with child, with that destruction looming over her. You know, and as we get closer to the end, it's going to be more contractions, more so-called false flags, because that's what they'll call it. They get a contraction, but the water didn't break. When they feel like they're about to give that birth, but it doesn't come out, I believe they call it Braxton Hicks. You know, toward the term of the pregnancy, you got different trimesters. Well, guess what? We in the last trimester right now, and this place is out of here, man. All right. So to hell with some goddamn government reopening, and to hell with this goddamn place, America, Babylon the Great. This place is about to get judged, man. And the brothers that's doing the work faithfully, truthfully, and in sincerity, we're going to be protected from the time to come. Lord willing, Abaratazah, we're of those men.
Yeah, and I agree with him. You see, you can watch the rest of the video for yourself to get the edification. It's very edifying. Only about 7 minutes, so, you know, I'm going to get some precepts. First, I'm going to read the article from where you got it from. Well, the one that I got, similar to his, is Trump announces deal ending longest ever government shutdown. U.S. President Donald Trump has announced a deal to reopen the government after more than 34 days, the longest shutdown in U.S. history, without getting a commitment from his proposed border wall. Yeah, and as you can see, just like the brother was saying, this ain't nothing but a smoke screen. This is to lull the masses of you sheeple to sleep, you know, point blank period. I'm gonna get the precept that he was quoting because it fits it too well. The book of 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, starting at 1. But of the times and seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. And the brethren that Paul is talking about the men of the Lord, which through the Spirit we believe are the apostles and elders of Great Millstone on down to the various Akim that the brother Jonathan was talking about. Lord's willing, I'll be part of that number. Verse 2, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. Yeah, like we're in the know. It's like every brother from GMS, they say the same thing. We're one body, one mind, one sound doctrine. The brothers that are in the know. The brothers that are in the know. The brothers that are diligently working. Because the ones that are diligently working, day in and day out, night in, night out, all season, pertaining to the book of 2 Timothy, the 4th chapter. Also Isaiah, the 62nd chapter. We give the Lord rest no day nor night. We proclaim his name and ask him to return until he establish and make Jerusalem a praise in the earth, loosely paraphrasing. Those brothers that are in the know, Paul has no need to write them to because we're the ones standing on watch. Verse 3, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. Yeah, and this is exactly what he was talking about. The brother was talking about how a woman can't escape the pain, the labor pains, the contractions that come, and they get stronger and stronger as the trimesters increase and get later and later. The water breaks and the baby is pushed forth. And the same thing is happening with this nation. The birth of these destructions coming. You see? Verse 4, but ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. Yeah, we're not in darkness. Why? Because we have the light. What is the light? The light is the scriptures. The knowledge of wisdom and understanding of them. And we have to thank Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai for that. They're giving us the Holy Spirit, Kakadash. There's the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 14. It proves that we're not in darkness. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle or put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. And it's written in the red letter that Yahweh Mashiach is speaking, because the men, starting with the apostles, that was a great millstone, and all men that teach the same doctrine diligently, they are that light. They are the light on the hill for all of Jerusalem to see, for those that the Lord wants to deem fit for his salvation. And they're going to see the light and then come up out of that darkness, come to the way of the light so you can see where you're going. Verse 16, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. See, that's what the light was given to us for. We are to exalt the names of the Heavenly Father and his only begotten Son, Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. And that's the truth. And this is what the brothers of the Great Millstone been doing, and are going to continue to do, Lord's willing, to be of that number. We're going to get the hell up out of here, because we know that the Lord will destroy this place. And we don't want to be part of that destruction. I know I don't. And I know I speak on behalf of the brothers of the Great Millstone, starting with the apostles and elders on down. That's why you see them, they're diligently out there. In a short while, I will sign a bill to open our government for 3 weeks, he said on Friday in the White House Rose Garden, adding that lawmakers would work over this time on a more permanent solution to the border crisis. Trump said he believed that Democrats and Republicans are willing to put their partisanship aside to put the security of the American people first. And yeah, and regardless of whether they are or not, it doesn't matter, because it's not what the Lord wants, you see. The Lord wants America to be shut down, and the Lord wants America to be destroyed and demolished. And first he's going to start with all of these goodies, all of these treaties and deals that they're doing. It's all going to come to naught. This is Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 6. Flee out of the midst of Babylon and deliver every man his soul. Be not cut off in her iniquity, for this is the time of Yahweh's vengeance. He will render unto her recompense. And this is exactly what you're seeing. This is why Trump was sitting here being the proud devil, saying that he's not going to open the government back up until he gets his $5.7 billion to build that wall. And that was just him being a ruthless tyrant, pertaining to the book of Psalms, the 10th chapter, 5th verse, and enemies he puffeth at them. His ways are grievous, loosely paraphrasing. Skip down to verse 8. Actually, 8 and 9, when he shut down the government, Jeremiah 51 and 8 came into play. Actually, before he shut down the government, when the debt was too high for anybody to pay it, the U.S.'s national debt, which is in the trillions. In verse 8, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. Howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. Verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. Yeah, and this is what you're seeing. Her judgment is reaching up to heaven and lifted up even to the skies. Why? Because it was in the spirit and the power and the will of the Heavenly Father. Point blank period. You know? There's nothing that Trump can do, just like Brother Jonathan was saying. There's nothing that Trump can do. He can open up the government, he can shut it down again, he can postpone it, he can make contingency plans. You know, you can make all these type of plans and treaties, and it doesn't matter what you do. The Lord's still going to destroy this place. This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 19, verse 20. Hear counsel and receive instruction, that thou mayest be wise in thy latter end. Verse 21, this is the point. There are many devices in a man's heart. Nevertheless, the counsel of Yahweh, that shall stand. And that's the truth, point blank period. There are many devices in these men's hearts. And the heart in Hebrew is lav, which is your mind. So they devise many imaginations and plans of what they're going to do. But little do they know that everyone is controlled by the Heavenly Father. See? There's Proverbs 21:1. The king's heart is in the hand of Yahweh. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever he will. And that's what you see. So all of these men saying that they're doing their own thing, there's no such thing as free will. The Lord controls all. I told you in the book of Job, the 12th chapter, that the deceiver and the deceived are his. So you don't have no such thing as free will. The president thanked federal workers and their families for their devotion in the face of hardship. Some 800,000 government employees were left without their paycheck for a month, with many still having to work. Yeah, they have to work. Why? Because they've written in the contract when they signed it that no matter what happens, they're still going to support the government. You know, and the apostles and elders have went into that in the previous live stream when they was out in the highways and hedges. And Apostle Ramla reiterated that in the live stream that he did the next day. Very edifying as usual. That's why, if you know it later, and the one thing that they brought up that made perfect sense is that it's called G.I. Joe, government issue. Government issue means that you're signed and sealed and owned by the government. That's why when you sign your contract, if you look in the Constitution, the 13th and the 14th Amendment, it made slavery legal. So slavery went from chattel slavery to perpetual wage slavery. So slavery never ended. Now you give up your money, and now you give up your time and your energy for wages. So that's slavery. And at any given time, even if you don't get paid, you still sign the contract. So you signed an oath, and you're to keep that oath, which means you're supposed to protect and serve the government and its business and its affairs, no matter what happens to you. That's why these 800,000 workers went and worked for a whole damn month without getting paid. That's blasphemous. And in fact, let me get a precept on that. Definitely gotta get that. Trump fits this bill. This is the book of Proverbs again, chapter 12, verse 10. A righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. Yeah. And the reason why I brought that up, because Esau looks at Israel, so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, like an animal. And how do we know this? Because it's documented. All you gotta do is look up the 3/5 compromise. You're written as 3/5 of a human being, so you're not even a full man. Point blank, period. And Esau never looked at you as a full man, and he never going to. He always look at you like a damn animal. You know? Let me see this. Although Trump didn't reveal any details of the deal, he talked extensively in his address about the proposed border wall, giving arguments for its construction. I guess this would be it right here. Play a little bit of it.
I am very proud to announce today that we have reached a deal to end the shutdown and reopen the federal government. As everyone knows, I have a very powerful alternative, but I didn't want to use it at this time. Hopefully it will be unnecessary. I want to thank all of the incredible federal workers and their amazing families who have shown such extraordinary devotion in the face of this recent hardship. You are fantastic people. You are incredible patriots. Many of you have suffered far greater than anyone but your families would know or understand. And not only did you not complain, but in many cases you encourage me to keep going because you care so much about our country and about its border security. We really have no choice but to build a powerful wall or steel barrier. If we don't get a fair deal from Congress, the government will either shut down on February 15th again, or I will use the powers afforded to me under the laws and the Constitution of the United States to address this emergency.
Yeah, so there you go. And you can see it's a bunch of hoopla. It's devil being the devil as usual. Like you said, he's gonna shut it down again February 15th if he doesn't get what he wants. So regardless of what anybody says or feels, America is done. The president expanded on the acts that may be committed by criminals coming into the country over the border, from dealing drugs to assaults on women. He said that cartels, transnational gangs, and human traffickers are brazenly violating U.S. laws and terrorizing innocent communities, which is a lie. Because the number one terrorist always has been and always will be so-called white people, you Edomites. You know, you came to a land that's not yours, and you committed genocide on the Native American tribes, Gad and Reuben. You brought over the Negro tribe, Judah, top tribe, and they built America. And you also trying to build a wall to keep Issachar out, which this is his original land. So nobody's a bigger terrorist than so-called white man. I'll give a quick precept for that. Talking about it, it's the book of Psalms, chapter 10, verse 5. Actually, I started for the wicked through the pride of his countenance will not seek after power. The Most High is not in all his thoughts. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. And this is exactly what Donald Trump is doing. And this is how you know that the Bible was written about Esau being in power in the 10th chapter of Psalms, because you can see it. Verse 6, he hath said in his heart, I shall not be moved, for I shall never be in adversity. Yeah, and that's the pride of the devil. The devil sees his kingdom going down right before his eyes, and he still feel like he's not going to get touched. Verse 7, his mouth is full of cursing and deceit and fraud. Under his tongue is mischief and vanity. And this is exactly what you're seeing. That's why if you notice, Trump said that he has a powerful alternative, but he didn't bring it out. He had a powerful alternative, but he didn't want to bring it out. That's pride. Point blank period. You know, like it tells you, the scripture is just going to continue to preach the word until the Lord establishes righteousness forevermore. And we know that he's coming. You know, even though, like it tells you in the book of Habakkuk, even though tarry, wait for it, because it's coming, not tarry. If Congress does not produce a fair deal over the next few weeks, Trump said the government will either shut down again on February 15th, or he will use the emergency powers given to him by the Constitution to address the emergency on the border. So yeah, as you can see, you know, he's because he has to, because he knows that he has to. As a matter of fact, wow, it's continuing. This book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. The devil come down unto you, having great wrath. He had for a short time, and that's clearly the case. So he opening up the government, shutting it down, because he's still trying to lull the people back to sleep. He's trying to lull the people back to sleep. And why? Because so he can issue in the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast, written about in Revelation, the 13th chapter. And the apostle, through the Spirit, it coined Apostle Tahar to name this year 2019 the year Karagma, because this is going to be the year that everybody's going to be made mandatory to get that chip. And if you've been paying attention to the news, all you got to do is look at Arkansas. Arkansas is about to write it in law as the first state. After Wisconsin was the first state to have a group of employees to willingly do it. It was called 3 Square Markers. And even before that, the first implementation of it actually, I believe, was some Jewish family in Florida. And I forget their name at the time. So, yeah, this thing is moving.
How are you?
And it says, following the president's speech, both House Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, a Republican in Kentucky, and Minor Leader Chuck Schumer, Democrat from New York, said on the Senate floor they would work together, focusing on areas where both parties are in agreement. In a press conference on Friday afternoon, Schumer and Speaker of the House Nancy Pelosi, she a Democrat from California, thanked Democrats for standing firm and said they hope Trump had learned his lesson from the shutdown. Though Schumer said the Democrats are still firmly against the wall, Pelosi did not explicitly rule it out, focusing instead on her earlier proposals for more technology at ports of entry. Reacting to Trump's announcement, both the president's critics and supporters were in agreement that it was a capitulation to the Democrats. Yeah, and it was, because the Democrats got what they wanted, regardless of what it said. They wanted the government opened up, and they got it. And so did 2/3 of our people. Majority of this world wanted that, because only the men of the Lord wanted this shit to stay shut down. Why? Because the more it shuts down, the more we're gonna get closer to our freeing of captivity. And that's what we want. Trump said he would own the shutdown during the talks with congressional Democrats in December. After the Senate Democrats blocked the proposal approved by the Republican-led House, giving $5.7 billion for the wall, the government entered a partial shutdown on December 22nd. At over 34 days, it is the longest ever interruption of government services in U.S. history. And that's not even really a big thing, because if you do the history of our people, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we did 400 years of a government shutdown. It's called slavery. During the shutdown, Trump toured the border, addressed the nation from the Oval Office, and even had a draft of the emergency declaration prepared according to reports, but decided not to use it. Yeah. You get a quick precept for us to continue. Because if you start playing games with the people, and they don't even know it, First, let me get this real quick. The book of 2 Corinthians chapter 2, verse 11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And what are his devices? Deception and the power of the government, and being able to make things look better than what they seem. And then you go to the book of 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 11. And for this cause, power shall send them strong delusion that they should believe a lie. Yeah, and what lie are they believing? That the government is going to, Trump is going to make America great again. Trump cannot make America great again if the Lord has it in his heart to destroy it. Whatever the Lord wants, that's what he gets. And point blank period, it doesn't matter who believes it or not. Like it tells you in the book of Romans 3, verse 3. Matter of fact, I'll do that. This is the book of Romans, chapter 3, verse 3. For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of power without effect? Power forbid. Yeah, let the Most High be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings, and mightest overcome when thou art judged. Yeah. So there you go. It is man that's a liar. It's not the Most High. It's not God. And man doesn't know the Lord and know his thoughts. Because like it tells you in the book of Isaiah, the 55th chapter, the Lord's thoughts and ways are higher than your thoughts and ways, because the Lord sits in heaven and you sit on earth. And that's just plain to the point. Democrats have repeatedly vowed that they will never authorize any funding for the border wall ever. Pelosi went so far as to disinvite Trump from delivering the State of the Union speech until the government reopens. Trump's proposed compromise, which would include a wall down payment in exchange for some protections for immigrants brought into the U.S. illegally, was shot down before it was made public. Yeah, and it doesn't even matter. It was shot down before it was made public. If the government, if Esau, being the devil that he is, wants to do that, he's going to do it. Why? Because, like the scriptures say, he got the power to do so. This is the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. Yeah, and this is exactly what's going on. You see? It's exactly what you've seen. The devil being the devil who the Bible speaks of. And anybody that says it's not the so-called white man, you wicked as all hell, you're going to get destroyed right along with him. He's the only one who has power to do these things. No other nation of people that have power to do these things inside of America. City of confusion. Speaking of city of confusion, we're going to go to the book of Isaiah, the 24th chapter. Go to 10th verse. I started now. They shall not drink wine with the strong. Strong drink shall be better to them that drink it. Yeah, and the drink is this philosophy. You see? Everybody that drinks of America is better to them now. And then it's not that sweet old wine that you used to get, you know, taste nice and hit your taste buds, make you put your two fingers under your neck like none of that. It's done. You're getting the nasty old chase, you're getting the nasty old number 7 type drink. Verse 10, the city of confusion is broken down. Every house is shut up that no man may come in. And that's America. And it's going to continue to be like that until the Lord returns. And the Lord add more plagues upon this wicked and God-forsaken country. You see? Verse 11, there is a crying for wine in the streets. All joy is darkened. The mirth of the land is gone. And you look up the word mirth, is the joy, the exaltation, and happiness. There is no happiness in America. Why? People got to work, the slaves just to make pennies. And basically you just work 5 days a week just to be free for 2 days and spend your money in 2 days. And then you go back to work and you're a slave. Point blank period. And I'm getting one more precept and then we'll just close. We'll go back to Micah chapter 2, verse 10. Arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall destroy you even with the sword destruction. And that's the truth. Trump opening up this government one more time doesn't mean anything, because like he said, it's going to shut down again if he doesn't get what he wants in a couple of weeks. So what good is it opening it up? To lull you people back to sleep, you know? In fact, let me get that in the precept. Yeah, there you go. This book of Micah, chapter 6, verse 14. They have healed also the hurt of the daughter of my people, slightly saying, peace, peace, when there is no peace. Yeah, there is no peace, man. They claim that there's peace, but there is no peace, point blank period. And more and more people are going to start to see that when those plagues start to come, when the famine hits, not just of bread and water, but also a famine of the word spoken about in the book of Amos, the 8th chapter, you know, and a lot more death and destruction will come to America, and it's going to be in form of these guerrilla troops. It's going to be in form of martial law, things of that nature. They're going to start putting out curfews for these people, and these people don't even know it. All you got to do is watch. If you've seen any of these movies, that's what Esau does. He tells you in movies, it's called hidden in plain sight, and then after he tells you in the movies, he implements it. You've seen the movies like The Rogue, Purge, V for Vendetta, things of that nature. The government started going crazy, and the government started becoming terrorists, even though they already are. And then on top of that, they allowed people in the street to become terrorists. That was the purge, and the government wasn't coming. So all of that is coming to America, point blank period. Because you've been paying attention, you've seen the other countries like Venezuela, Colombia. It's already happening over there, and America is the entree. Because those are nothing but side dishes, you know, little appetizers, and America is the main course. So, you know, point blank period. Shit gonna get crazy. Lord's gonna use edifying, like to give all honor, praises, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Kahadash. Double honors to the apostles and others, great men. Shalom to the elect. Death to America. I'm gonna leave you out with my brother. Tell my brother you want thing gonna take us home.
You know, so I just wanted to say a few words on that. You know, don't lose patience, Akim. All right, this end is coming. It's here. We in the beginning of the time that the scriptures speak about, the time of sorrow, the time of great mourning, of great famine, of death. You know, this is the time that we in, man. Regardless of whatever these crackers do, what these Edomites do, you know, this place is through. All right, and hey, the prophecies of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai are speaking loud and clear. For those that have ears and eyes to see, man, ears to hear and eyes to see. So with that, I'm gonna say all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakak Wadash, Lord willing, this was edifying. Shalom to the elect.